evening, everyone. It's your boy Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound, and as always, either Sunday or Monday morning, I like to do the Monday Market Coin Report, as it's affectionately named. It focuses on coins that sold for a good deal of money in the past week. Primarily, all of these coins are going to be post 1950 moderns. In addition, they will also all be graded. So these are coins that have either sold on eBay, Great Collections, Heritage Auctions, all of the notable auction sites that usually host coin sales. We are going to feature them this week. So we are about a week away from a couple notable sales. Heritage Auctions is going to have a signature coin sale coming up here in the next week or so. In addition, Legend Auctions will be featuring another Regency. As a matter of fact, Regency 34 auction sale will be happening here shortly. So some would speculate that there might be a little bit of slowdown in the market usually before some of these bigger auction sales, and that might be the case. But we have a suite of about 15 coins that I wanted to share with you, all hitting the market at just the right stride. And, we're featuring a few couple kind of different inclusions into the list that we're going to talk about and that I'd like to kind of focus on. But anyways, before we get started, as always, I got to do the YouTube, shtick like I always do. Thank you for joining. First of all, if this is your first time here, don't forget to hit the like, share, and subscribe. Feel free to share the video wherever you'd like on social media. Get my name out there much higher than it is today. But yeah, let's go ahead and jump into the top coins that have sold for the week ending October 13th of 2019. And as I always like to focus on with the beginning of these videos, we are going to take a look at one notable eBay sale. Okay, so I don't know if you guys, a lot of you have been with me for the duration of the summer, or better part of the year, when the U.S. Mint had released the 2019 Lincoln cents that were produced at the West Point Mint. Okay, just to kind of recap, these coins were only made available with the purchase of the proof set, with the reverse proof set, and with the mint set. So you would get one of each type out of those sets, and they've been a pretty good hit. We've seen some jump in sales of proof and mint coins sets here this year compared to any other year beforehand. So the coin that we are focused on here is an eBay sale from September 24th. Now this is a 2019 West Point Lincoln cent. This is what they call the circulation strike or business strike variant out of the three coins. And this one is also called the first day of issue coin. Okay, as you can see, it's graded Mint State 70, which is a perfect grade in the grading standards of coins through NGC. Okay, so it was submitted as soon as these coins have dropped, so it is a perfect grade. Now keep in mind that these coins at one point over the summer were selling for about $7,000 to $10,000. We've seen some of those five-figure sales earlier in the summer. So how are we doing in terms of the just kind of like the uplifting market activity of this coin? Well, unfortunately, like I had predicted, these coins are dropping like a rock in a lake. We have the one sale of this coin here in September 24th on eBay for $1,576. And again, do not take stock in these perfect graded West Point coins. They are plentiful. The populations are absolutely huge on these. These are nice quality coins. So finding one in a Mint State 70 is probably not too hard to find. As a matter of fact, the most plentiful grade of this coin would be Mint State 69. To a lot of just regular collectors, that would be more than suitable. And it's also a nice conversation piece, because this is indeed the first year that the West Point Mint is producing coins for the Lincoln cent, for the Washington quarter. It's been making big news today. So kind of give you an idea of how much these are dropping. Okay, we have this sale from September 24th. We also have the most recent sale, which was as of 2 days ago. Another NGC Mint State 70 red had fallen down to $1,350. We're talking about a $226 price change in a matter of a couple weeks. Again, these things are going to continue to free fall as more supply is injected into the marketplace. These things before long will be worth about a couple hundred, $200 or $300. All right, do not pay these absorbent prices for this coin. So that was my one long, probably unnecessarily long explanation of the eBay coin. But we also have some great collection coins that also sold this past week. A whole mess of Lincoln Cents and Jefferson Nickels. I'm happy to highlight the first coin here as being the 1982 Lincoln Cent. Now keep in mind, there are a number of different variants that are highlighted with this particular coin. However, this one is the large date bronze type of the 1982. This is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus full red, and this one sold on Great Collections for $1,181.25. Okay, so we've seen even on these 1980s high-grade coins, we're starting to see a little bit of a receding of the prices as more of these, more supply is being injected into the marketplace. Okay, so keep that in mind. Now, the next coin I wanted to talk about, and you know, it's pretty crazy a thing. Not a lot of people think about kind of the what I like to call the minor cherry pickers guide varieties. Everyone is pretty well knowledgeable of the 1972 doubled die, okay, the double die pairing number one, in which it features probably some of the most ridiculous doubling on the Lincoln Cent, short of a 55 or a 69S. This is a phenomenal coin right here. Now, keep in mind, there are also about 9 or 10 or 11 other pairings of a doubled die that are a little bit minor in nature. But keep in mind, those coins are also pretty valuable. Case in point with this coin right here, a 1972 doubled die obverse. This is FS102. So this is the second double die out of the series. Not as radical as number one, but this one is making the report for a specific reason. Now keep in mind, look at the coin. It's not what I would consider to be, you know, like a high bar has been set. There's a few carbon spots featured on here, but this is also a PCGS Mint State 66 full red specimen. This one again has some of those spotting on the obverse and the reverse. You know, that big unsightly one underneath Liberty is pretty glaring on this coin. But this is an example that sold for $669.38, thereby kind of reinforcing the fact that these things are valuable in this type of grade, and they can be found in change. All right, don't let them tell you otherwise. All right, so the next Lincoln Cent that I wanted to talk about is the one you see here. It's a 1953 Lincoln Wheat Cent. This one, however, is graded NGC Mint State 67 full red. Another tougher date. Usually the Philadelphia minted coins of the 50s are a lot tougher to find, okay, with clean surfaces, clean planchets, free of any nicks and scratches and other manufacturing marks. All around tough mint to deal with when it comes to looking for these earlier wheat cents from the 50s. So this one right here sold for $1,125. Now keep in mind, it is an NGC graded coin, so it probably took about a 25% hit in value because it is NGC, but it's still sold for a nice chunk of cash right there. So we also have a Denver minted wheat cent that I want to talk about, and then what we have here is a 52D. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus. Full red. It is also CAC certified. All right, so it has that extra backing of another secondary authentication service that usually audits the primary graders, numerical grades on there, so either PCGS or NGC. But this one sold for $1,576.12. So there are a couple a little bit earlier Lincoln Cents that I also wanted to hit up on here. Okay, the first one is this 1948 It seems like I always talk about a 1948 two or three times in a month. So I don't know if there's an extra supply being injected or some of the previously graded Mint State 67s, which by the way, this one is through PCGS, is coming back out into the marketplace. It's anybody's guess, but we're starting to see some price settling, even in the earlier 1940s Lincoln cents. $1,120.91 for this 1948 seems like a relative bargain. All right, I could only speculate that these are going to be tougher to find as the supplies dry up. Okay, on a counterpoint, everybody loves kind of the one mint type, just really unique offerings. Okay, the 1943 steel cents have always been a popular favorite among collectors, whether they're registry set participants or they're just a fan of the coin because it is so relatively different than any other Lincoln cent in the series. Okay, primarily by the fact that it is a steel composition coin. Of course, the U.S. was hoarding all of the copper and rationing out those specific types of metals in addition to nickel toward the war efforts. So they went with a steel-based kind of like zinc-coated planchet, all right? And to this day, it's a popular, wildly successful coin. This 1943 S example that you see here is one of the top graded PCGS Mint State 68s. This is also a CAC certified coin, and it's sold, still keeping up to the market, all right, and still holding that really nice baseline for $3,349.12. We're simply not seeing any sort of slippage of any value of these steel cents. They are going to be popular for years to come. So the next coin that we have here, we are going to jump into some Jefferson Nickels. Now, it's kind of crazy to even talk about coins like this. However, this first one right here is going to be a 1997 Jefferson Nickel. It is also a Denver minted coin. All right, you don't typically see Jefferson Nickels from the 90s make it onto the list just because of how plentiful they are. But lo and behold, we have a PCGS Mint State 67 with full steps. This full-featured coin here, which by the way, it looks stunning. I'm not, don't get me wrong. This coin looks great. Sold for $2,025. You just can't go wrong with a coin like this. Again, it's an obvious registry set purchase. I wouldn't necessarily say, hey, yeah, go ahead and just invest in these later 90s, 2000s Jefferson Nickels. But here's an example that certainly is, if anything, out of the ordinary for what is usually on this list. So we do have another Jefferson Nickel. Okay, it's one of the tougher dates out there. It's a 1962D. This one is a PCGS Mint State 64 with full steps. So the grade's not fantastic. It is a full steps example, which is just inherently difficult to find on any early 60s Denver minted Jefferson Nickel. This one's sold and hammered for $1,687.50. Again, someone needed this coin with full steps, and there you go. That's what it's worth. So we do have a couple 1950s. I love talking about these, boy, I tell you. But the first one's the 1957D Jefferson Nickel. This one, of course, is a PCGS Mint State 66 Plus with full steps. A truly beautiful grade. This coin right here, again, the full steps on the reverse of the coin might be a little bit kind of touchy. I'm kind of 50-50 on this one, just based off of the appearance of this image. It might look better in hand, but who's to say? This one sold for $1,687.50, just like the 62D beforehand. All right, and then again, it wouldn't be a Monday Market Report without us discussing one of my favorite dates of Jefferson Nickels because of how ugly these things are. 1955. All right, the U.S. Mint absolutely did not care about the overall quality of this specific date of Jefferson Nickel for whatever reason. Okay, just a lapse of caring in the world of maintaining the dies and just the overall quality of the strikes. These are horrid. So finding one with full steps, of course, is going to be one of the most prohibitive things that you could do in coin collecting. But this example here is a Mint State 66 with full steps through PCGS, and this one sold for $1,743.75. Not my favorite date, of course, but this one has some semblance of full steps. But there you go. Kind of a wild finish for that one there. Now, the next coin I wanted to talk about is I kind of like a forewarning, all right? A 1954 S Jefferson Nickel that is graded PCGS Mint State 65, and that's where the conversation ends. No full steps, no wild toning, no color, nothing like that. It's just a regular nickel. Yeah, this one sold for $1,125. Okay, but that's the as crazy as that sounds. Here's what's even more crazy. At this grade, without full steps, there are 1,038 that's been assigned this grade through PCGS, with 336 other specimens that graded higher. So like a 65 plus, 66. This coin has a PCGS price guide value of like 20 bucks. All right. So why did this one sell for $1,125? Simply is. It's just, it's not worth that, obviously. The only way it would be worth anything is if it had full steps. And unfortunately, someone probably, the one actual bidder that put the bid in for this coin probably saw something that might get a reconsideration for full steps. I mean, it does have a few steps. I don't think personally it's strong enough to warrant a purchase and kind of a risk of buying this coin for $1,100 to try and crack it out and then resubmit it. It's just way too much kind of brain damage to go through when you're trying to make a few dollars. But I don't know. It's just this is an anomaly, and I would not take stock in the fact that a non-full steps 54S sold for over $1,000. All right, so definitely kind of ignore that one. Now, there is a coin that is absolutely surprising on the list, all right, and it's going to be this 2004D Wisconsin State Quarter. Miraculously, it is neither the high or lowly variety, but it's simply just a regular business strike coin without any variant to it. So this one right here is a nice high grade of a PCGS Mint State 68. I haven't seen or talked about a high quality state quarter in quite a while. All right, so this one's kind of refreshing, but this one sold this evening for $1,237.50. Pretty amazing. It's a stunning amount of money for just a regular kind of cookie cutter coin that was mass produced 15 years ago. Hard to believe that this is a 15-year-old coin, but as you guys see in your pocket change, high quality specimens of state quarters aren't nearly as available as they once were 10 years ago. So pretty incredible hammer at the auction through great collections on that one. So another quarter that I also want to highlight, and then we're almost done, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be a 1950D. Probably one of my favorite coins on the list for this week. Washington Quarter. This one is a PCGS Mint State 67 Plus CAC certified. That sold for $3,610.12. There's not a whole else a lot to say about this coin other than it's an obvious registry set example. The coin is absolutely clean with some original kind of spotty toning on there. But all in all, it's a really nice early example of a quarter that generally is tougher to find in grades above 66. So that, I'm happy to say, is the not quite the final coin, but almost there, because we have the big sale of the week. And again, man, coming from left field, it's going to be this 2011 Jefferson Nickel with the modified obverse portrait, okay, that we've seen here since 2006. So this one right here is a PCGS Mint State 68 with full steps. This coin is barely 10 years old. It's not even 10 years old yet. As a matter of fact, it's only 8 years old. This one sold for $2,306.25. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to wrap it up for the Monday Market Coin Report for the week ending October 13, 2019. We've seen quite a selection of Lincoln cents and Jefferson Nickels. I don't know if this is indicative of any sort of new trend in the marketplace, but as you can see, there are certain decades of coin that are still popping off really big. And of course, there are some of those usual suspects that if you guys were anywhere remotely close to being interested in trying to get these graded, beware. The market is getting flooded with these high-end coins like the San Francisco Lincoln cents of the early 1950s, along with a few of the other usuals that I talk about every week. It's a really tough gig if you want to get into it, and there's no guarantees. The money is starting to dwindle a little bit, and that might be because the market for some of these coins is slowed down. All right, but it could also mean a buying opportunity. But for a lot of these, it's quite not there yet. So, anyways, I want to thank you guys for joining in. Again, I'm your host, Sean with BlueRidgeSilverhound. Yeah, well, let's do it up with a little, hit the like button action. And as always, feel free to share and subscribe to my channel. I want to thank everyone for joining in this evening. You guys have a wonderful day. Don't work so hard, and we will see you for more coin shenanigans, my coinaholics. You guys take care, and I'll see you then.